Hi folks, welcome back. Right here, Open Pagan Church. I hope everyone's doing well. And Discord is connected. Looks like we got Cindy, Lucy, and Clint over in Discord. By the way, a reminder, we do simulcast on discordapps.com every Sunday. There is a non-expiring invite in the introduction area or in the title area. Alright, hope everyone's doing well. Today, well, depending on how much input we get from those who are listening and those who are here in chat and what have you, open your eyes. Now, I want to thank Clint for this topic for sure. But open your eyes, what does it mean? Well, I said in the introduction area, too many people walk and live with their eyes, what we used to call eyes wide shut. My martial arts trainer used to always use the saying, you need to live your life eyes wide open, not eyes wide shut. And what that always meant to me was, if you're going to live, you're going to be in the world, and if you're going to work, most especially if you're going to be a part of the magical community, you need to pay attention what you're getting, what's going on. Cindy, what are you talking about? You have feedback. Do I have feedback?
Yeah, it's just not being the eyes being open. Like I just posted, you got to watch, listen, think, and watch everything that's around you. It's not just one or two things. It's got to take the whole perspective into place to actually be going somewhere.
Absolutely. Cindy says I have an echo. Did anybody else hear an echo?
I fixed it, sorry.
So it was Cindy echoing. I see how it is.
Uh-huh. Good morning.
So, you talk about, and people talk about living life. How are you going to live life if you can't see it? Now, this could be done in retrospect to those who are not sighted, to blind individuals. I have spoken to many people through the years who have lost their sight, and they speak of the very thing that we in the pagan community use, which is the third eye, the scented senses. You have your ears, your smell, you can feel your surroundings. Those who don't have their sight have to depend on all of those other senses. Good morning, Dave. So, what is it to you to live your life eyes wide open? What does it mean to you?
Well, to me, open your eyes wide open, I guess. You be spiritual every day to be able to build the elements and all, but to open your eyes even to learn from other religion, eyes open. You know, be a sponge, soak it in, learn the knowledge, wisdom.
That's part of it. That's part of it. But
I
what?
think
Go
part
ahead.
of I think part of it is, like, I'm guilty of this, like, totally guilty of it. I get so focused on what's going around me that I don't hear or see what else is going around, like connections and things like that. Or I'll feel something, but because of my chaos, I don't tune into it.
Tunnel vision.
Yes.
You gotta look at the whole picture. A lot of people don't do that. Like you said, tunnel vision. They look at only certain things. I'm learning how to, even as I'm driving down the road now, my vision is not just focused on cars and stuff and driving, but I see things going on around me. Not just energy wise. I also see birds and plants and stuff, and they're moving around nowadays with different things.
Well, also too, it's like Debbie said. You have to be present. You have to be in the moment. Lucy was talking about getting wrapped up in her own chaos. We're all guilty of that. And here's one of the simple things that I teach people: to pay attention to detail. Pay attention to what's going on around you. Debbie says no one can see the whole picture. No human is capable of it. Well, true enough. Very true in that indeed. We can't see everything all the time. We have alternative realities that are going on around us. We have things that are happening around us at all times that we may not even be able to notice. We may not even be able to see it. But if we open our eyes and we pay attention to what's happening around us, and it's like I started to say a while ago, one of the things I teach people, my students especially, is notice the leaf that falls off of a tree. Notice the piece of paper that someone has dropped on the floor. Notice something that may be out of place. Now, I'm not talking about OCDs. I'm not talking about things that are out of place that may make you uncomfortable. I'm not even talking about that. Pay attention to the detail around you. So much.
Like the other day, Clint called me and said, "You feel that? Feel what? You feel the energy and everything? It shifted again." I'm going, "No, not really." But then once my eyes opened up, I saw the difference in the energy patterns.
But also too, in that, there are things that some may feel that others don't. So when someone reaches out to me and says, "Did you just feel the shift?" Sometimes I don't. And it's not because I'm not open to it. It's because it may not be meant for me. It may be Clint's world that shifts a little. It may be Debbie's world that shifts a little. It may be someone else's world that shifts a little. Dave is asking if anyone can hear him. I can't. He's in Discord as Ivan.
No, we don't hear.
So, Dave says he finds it difficult sometimes around groups of people, feeling everything and hard to sort out. Yeah, absolutely. It can become overwhelming. Yes. So you have to be able, to muddle through the mud, if you will, of everyone else's psychic energy, everyone else's psychic presence. But at the same time, if we live our lives with blinders on, earplugs in, blinders on, and for lack of a better description, our tinfoil hat on, we're missing a whole lot. We're missing an entire world of beauty, colors, flowers. We're missing the different changes of the mother. Um, our videos, of course, are done on Sunday. Well, yesterday morning, I got up at 6 a.m., went out pre-dawn, to cut grass. And of course, I get to see the sunrise when I do that. And yesterday morning was an absolutely beautiful sunrise. Temperature was relatively cool. So it kind of, if you're noticing these things, and cutting grass, I stay very focused because the last thing I want to do is run over something in the yard. But I always take the time to open my psychic energy up. That way I can feel the shifts in the mother. I can feel the energy of the birds that are flying around. You can feel things around you that you wouldn't even realize that you could feel. So when a practitioner, especially one of a pagan persuasion, if you will, or even other religions that are magically connected, when someone says open your eyes, that doesn't actually mean the two eyeballs you have in your head.
Hello.
Dave, almost. We almost got you.
Hello.
Almost got you.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't get it.
I hear him fine.
Can you hear
I
me?
hear.
All right.
Yeah.
Can you hear me better now? I'm away from my mic.
Yes.
All right. Well, I have to click and talk.
Yes, that's good.
Too many moving parts.
I know how that goes sometimes. So, I kind of say again, and John, thank you for joining, Dave, and everybody else that I may not even be able to see who have joined. But when we open our eyes, it's not just our eyes that we're opening. It's our psychic scent, our psychic abilities that we open. And I'm not talking about clairvoyance. I'm not talking about reading minds or anything of the sort. I'm talking about simply removing your chaotic self out of the picture. Taking your own distractions, your own pressure, all of your own anxieties, and set them off to the side. Your own stresses, put them away. And open your psychic scent and open your third eye to what's going on around you. And don't look at the side of it, why is everybody always casting on me type situation. I'm talking about the beauty of Mother Earth, the beauty of the things around us, the trees, flowers. I know some of you are sadly very allergic to grass, but grass in and of itself has a beauty.
We're made of the elements. We're made of earth, air, fire, water, and spirit. So everything is made of that. So, when we can be towards it how it is towards us, because it doesn't pay attention to us because we're already a part of it. So when we give it the same respect and love that it gives us, then we're able to be one with it. Then it's lit up. Then you don't have an issue with everything around. Then becoming aware of what's around you all the time, like you're talking about, becomes simple.
Well put, Dave. Absolutely. But at the same time, as human beings, how many of us are too busy to open our eyes, open our senses,
But when you can be that way and know who you are inside, then you're not too busy. It's always there 24/7, like a warm blanket wrapped around you, like a warm blanket, like all the way into your bones, and it just never leaves, no matter how you're feeling or what. It doesn't matter. You don't have to try to do it.
For some,
if you're one with everything, you're just one with everything.
Right.
So I see so many people in earth-based religions, and they get this clue every day when they walk out of the house and they look around, and the weather's doing whatever it's doing, the birds are flying, whatever the outside's doing, and then you go outside, and they don't notice that it doesn't pay attention to them. It's because they're already a part of it. So if they can be the same way towards it as it's being towards them, it's simple, but that's real high level stuff that just a lot of people, if they just want to view the physical world in a proper way, in a non-judgmental way, like I'm talking about, it's simple.
Is it? Is it simple in an age where people are taught, whether you're pagan or not? Most people.
No, it's not.
Well, hang on.
But
let me finish.
Every day.
Let me
I'm sorry.
finish. You're all right. It may be simple to some of us who live it, who breathe it, who practice it, but it is so very easy to become wrapped up in the chaos of life, trying to make a living, pay bills, take care of family, take care of responsibilities, and do what needs to be done, the rush and the hustle and bustle of life, that it is so much easier just to become a part of your momentary environment than it is to remember what it is that we are a part of the Mother's environment, the Mother Earth. Let's see, I want to read what Clint wrote here. He said, I've had conversations. Sorry?
So I'm not seeing anybody type in chat.
Yeah, Clint says, I've had conversations with people before. They need to slow down. Go outside. Leave your cell phone in the house. Oh boy, good luck with that. Outside, go look, listen, feel what's outside. When we're in the man-made things, the world is, very much around us, and Clint makes the same point that Dave is making, that I think the rest of us make on a daily basis. But also having first-hand experience, and I know if you're a human being, I know you have had first-hand experience of having to slow down. Having to slow down and remember we're part of something bigger than ourselves. Because when you're getting into life, you're getting into chaos of life, and you're getting into those things that cause you to wind yourself up in a little ball, like I say, trying to pay bills, take care of family, do the right thing, do things that need to be done in the physical world, we forget to open our eyes and see the beauty of the world around us. And
But if you can become one with it, you know what I mean? If you could become one with it all the time, then when life gets chaotic and you see all this stuff going on around you, then you revert back to feeling one with everything, and you come back to your spot.
Well, true, but the whole point is, most don't do that. Now, most people don't do that. And one of the really sweet ladies that used to be a part of our group, people used to ask her, how do you do that? Her answer was, because I was never told I couldn't. Now, let's think on that statement for a moment. How many kids are raised on a daily basis going, that's not real. It's only a dream. If you can't see it, it's not real. If you can't touch it, it's not real. It's only a bad dream. It's your imagination. So this sets up a culture of it's not real. And yet, the very same culture in mainstream society says if you can't touch it, it's not real, but you have to believe in God. You have to believe in Jesus. But if you can't touch it, it's not real. So you tell me, does that not formulate an essence of total, complete confusion in young people coming up today? What do y'all think?
Yeah, because like you said, they say it's not real unless you can touch it, and everybody wants the material thing, but there's more than material things out there that need to be believed in, felt.
But my concern is the sheer numbers of people that are raised on a daily basis being told that's not real.
That's like when I joined up with you in 2003. If I didn't feel it, I couldn't see it, I didn't believe it. But ways I learned, I changed, and that's how I look now. Open eyes and look around, be alert, and get your teachings to others so they can feel and keep going. Might be a slow process, but we're changing little by little.
Well, yeah, it typically doesn't happen. I mean, when you've been programmed your whole life to live eyes wide shut, right?
Right.
When you've been programmed your whole life to live that way, you don't come out of it overnight. And it's like I said earlier on, you learn baby steps. You learn baby steps. You learn to go out. And, sadly, in this day and age, the sheer population of people that is allergic to everything outside. Now there's a whole rule of thought to that. There's no concrete answers as to why such a large population is allergic to everything outside. In some cases, and this is my own thought, right? So don't everybody line me up in front of a firing squad and want to hang me on a short rope. But my own thought is, if we don't ever go outside, if we don't ever build up the immunities to certain allergens, I mean, yeah, I got allergies. I keep a nose rag around 24/7. I didn't have allergies till we moved up here, and that's okay. It's part of what it is. I wasn't used to the surroundings. I wasn't raised in the surroundings. Down south, I was raised in the woods, in the fields, cutting grass, around it all the time. Now this doesn't go to say, and I'm not going to get into the whole people forming allergies to things. It's not even what I'm talking about. But what I'm talking about, if we sequester ourselves to a cubicle, a little box, right? And that little box is all we live in. We never step outside of it. We never open the door. We never open the windows. We never step out and see what's going on. Our eyes become tighter and tighter and tighter closed. And so does our nose and our ears, our ability to feel. So I guess kind of where I'm coming from, and where the whole point of the conversation. Yes, not everybody has the same abilities. And yes, not everybody can do, feel, see, hear, smell, taste, experience the same energies and the mother energies, Mother Earth energies that we were talking about earlier. And I agree that if we talk about some of the different pagan paths, they become a part of particular environments, right? Different pagan paths, just like I say, become a part of different types of environments. So they may not feel the same thing a shaman feels. They may not feel the same thing a fae feels. They may not feel the same thing a draconic feels, or an osseter, or anybody else. I am a believer, me personally, in feeling your environment. Even though I'm sitting in my office here at home, and this poor thing is stacked to the walls with crap and what have you. But I feel what's going on outside the walls, outside of what's going on in the house, what's happening on property, the chaos that's going on in our world today. People are not raised to take care of each other. And I've seen this for a very long time. And it kind of goes along with the topic, open your eyes.
Morning, Leah.
Did I miss something?
People don't want to open their eyes because they're too busy putting their energy to the physical world around them all the time, and they project their energy out to the physical world around them, and they cut themselves off. And it's just very simple not to do that. It's
true. Yeah, absolutely. You get so wrapped up in what's going on around you that you just really have no idea. You get wrapped up in the chaos of life.
But people judge. They get in such a habit of judging everything all the time. They judge everything from their little mind perspective, and they go out towards everything instead of, being one with everything and letting it come towards you. It's a choice, and it's what I was saying before. They get a clue every day when they walk outside. That's a big clue every day. That's right in their face, and if they're too ignorant to figure it out, sorry about their luck.
But is that not a bigger problem? Is that not society's programming? I mean, I know in the world that I work in.
Sure it is, because if you don't act that way, if you're not that way, if you're not that way, like I'm explaining about that, most people are, when you're like myself or you or whatever, and then you step out of that box, they're pulling their hands out going, and they're pulling you back. You know what I mean? And that's one thing, you got to put up with, but that doesn't stop me.
Well, yeah.
So I think that it's a peer thing. So a lot of people don't step out and be the way that you're talking about, because if they try to do that, they're going to get pulled in whatever, they're going to get pulled back in that box, whatever box they're in. It could be in an institution, church, school, whatever. You know what I mean? And you get pulled back in that L7, that box. And that, I think that maybe prevents people from being the way that you're talking about too.
Well, yeah, you get your hand slapped. Okay. If we talk about jobs, right? I know where I work, if you step outside of your job and you have an opinion of something that you see going wrong, you get your hand slapped, and you're told that's not your job. Well, that daily programming in the workforce, right, trickles down to the outside life. And it's just like if you take a young person that is raised in a house of what's known as hover mode, if you will, helicopter parents, if you will, where the parent never allows the child to experience. The only thing that matters is what's going on in our home. That's the only thing that matters. Does that not breed the very thing that we're talking about to the outside world? When we're talking about opening one's eyes and we're talking about opening yourself up psychically to the outside world, that's never taught from the beginning. Now, that doesn't go to say that these are bad parents. It doesn't go to say that these are bad people. Good or bad is perspective. But what matters is, as we grow older and as we become young adults and whatever you call people my age, shut up. Don't even say it. At some point, my hope for the human race, I guess, is that they will realize they're part of something bigger than themselves. There's more going on. And the interesting part is with the advent of the internet over the last 25 years, it's amazing the global instantaneous news, if you will, that we can see going on the world over if we look. I talked to a very closed-minded individual who's hung up in conspiracy theorists more than they are the reality theorist, the reality theology. And they have convinced themselves that what happens in Russia has no effect on America. What happens in Japan has no effect on America. What happens in Saudi Arabia has no effect on America or Britain or any place else in the world. And I disagree with that. Because the policies, the rules, and the laws, and the regulations that every country puts into place, especially nowadays at the time of this video, 2019, September.
But a lot of these institutions don't factor in spirituality. They don't factor in like modern psychology. It's like 24 hours in a day, but modern psychology only goes to 12 noon, and they don't factor in the other 12 hours of the spiritual side. So I think that goes into a lot of institutions, religions, and they don't want people to be free thinkers.
Well, no, they don't. They want the cookie cutter. right? They want the cookie cutter. They want the black suit, the white shirt, and the black tie. Everybody wearing the same shoes. Everybody wearing the same suit. And everybody marching to the same drummer. Like you say, they don't want free thinkers. However, running a country or a business with spirituality in the forefront causes more problems than it resolves. And I know this firsthand. Because supposedly we work for a faith-based organization, and they praise God on the back end and put the screws to you on the front end, but you should be thankful. Right. But that's not just any business. That's pretty much all businesses. Me, personally, when I deal with customers, my faith, my spirituality, my honor, my fundamental belief system is always in my heart. So I treat people the way I'd like to be treated. But I also, when I'm working with a customer, I open my senses. I listen to what they're saying and how they're saying it. I also listen to what they may not be saying, but they might be implying. Again, opening our eyes to what's happening in front of us. Even though it may be on a phone, or in chat, or in conversation through chat, we need to be careful. Now, this is a really big point. We need to be careful what we read into others' words, don't we? Post on Facebook have no emotion. People post things on Facebook all the time. They have absolutely no idea what the hell they're posting. Either because the only thing they read is the caption. They don't read the words further down. So they're not paying attention to what the hell they're posting. And somebody may read further down and go, whoa. Or somebody lights up on their keyboard and they're not paying attention to the energy they're putting in the text. And better than that, the thing I had to learn when I got on Facebook was there's a whole bunch of paranoid folk out there that if you're talking about the world in general, they want to come back, why are you talking about me on the internet? I'm not. Wasn't even thinking about you when I made that post.
Must be guilty conscience.
Must be, true enough. But it also goes back to the topic of today's conversation. If people live their lives eyes wide shut, and they have their blinders on, and they have their wee little glasses on, so the only thing they can see is just what's in front of them, they're losing the concept of the bigger picture. They're losing the concept of what's going on around them. So when we're having verbal chat, like we do on Discord, it really allows people in the broadcast to feel our emotions and our voices and what we're saying.
Most people like to live in this gray area because they're so busy with their thoughts in the past and the future. They're not in the present moment, and they're so busy. Now I'm losing my train of thought.
Well, you just said it right there. You just said it right there, Dave. They're so busy. People are too busy.
No, okay. So now I know. So, there's this gray area that a lot of people like, and then they like bull crap. They like bull crap, and they live in this gray area, and their minds a lot of times are in this gray area, and they don't like the truth, and they like this gray area. But see, what they don't realize is in this gray area, there only exists is or is not. There is no gray area. There only is or is not. But they think all this is or is not with a circle around it is a gray area. So they like BS, and it's not BS. It only is or is not. There only is or is not. There is no gray area. There only is or is not. And most people, they don't want to face that. They want to live in some kind of they want to live in some kind of comfortable thing. They don't want to be uncomfortable. They don't want to go, oh, wow, I'm kind of feeling myself a little bit. I don't like that, and it's just it's sad, but that's just the way people are. That's why they're here. And I mean, that I couldn't imagine anything worse in the universe than being like that. That would be like hell. That would be living in hell for me, to see the world that way. Now that I know what I am now and have to go to that would be the worst thing I could imagine.
Well, let me expound a little bit on, I think, what you're saying. The is or is not is black or white, on or off, yes or no. My opinion of the gray is we accept the seeking of the balance. That which might be, could be, maybe is, maybe isn't. But when I know that 99% of any truth, not fact, so don't confuse fact with truth. 99% of any truth is perception, perspective, idea. What my perception or my perspective is, or my idea and my philosophy and ideology of someone else's truth, in my mind, could or could not be correct. So I ask. And therein lies the whole thing. If we're living life eyes open, senses open, I took my shields down probably 20 some odd years ago, maybe. They're still there. I still got them, and I can still use them if I need them, but why expound the energy? I'm not worried about people attacking me psychically, because with my eyes open, my psychic awareness open, I don't worry about it. I don't care. But if we live, and in my perspective, I live in the gray. I live in the gray with the understanding that the world is not about yes or no, is or is not, in or out.
I think I was just using that as an analogy. I understand what you're saying.
Yeah,
I'm using that
yeah.
as an analogy.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Just to describe.
Yeah, no, I get it.
You know?
Yeah.
But I don't worry about it either, being psychically attacked or somebody coming at me or whatever, because sorry about their luck, and they can try all they want, but it's just not really good to do that. So I don't even have to expand my energy on that.
Well, yeah, why waste your
I
time?
don't worry about it.
Why waste your time? And I'm not saying, and I've been questioned going, well, you're pagan, don't you believe in energy? Don't you believe in magic? Absolutely. But I know what magic is. I know what energy is. I understand how it works. And understanding that even now this may sound a little far-fetched, if you will, but even driving in Dallas traffic when I'm coming home and I may be listening to an audiobook or I may be listening to music. Sometimes I'll turn the radio off and I'll listen to the environment around me and all of the different hums and the different murmurs of the different energies that are around me in an absolute, total, complete, unabridged, chaotic situation of rush hour traffic. Now, if you want to test yourself psychically and you want to test yourself eyes wide open and you really want to practice on psychic openness, put yourself into a city, any city, I don't care what city, during rush hour traffic. It's not so bad in the morning, but in the evening, after people have been pounded on and beat on all day in their prospective jobs, opening yourself wide ass open to the psychic energies around you. It's overwhelming, yeah, but it's also really good practice. And I have found the busier I am, the more closed I am, the less aware I am of my surroundings, the more I'm liable to put myself in a position to have an accident. I can't control what other people are going to do. I can't control how other people are going to attack or if they're going to attack or whatever. But when we open ourselves up and we open our eyes, we open our psychic energy, and we feel the world around us, and we're not afraid to interact with the world around us, I think it becomes a better place. I think we realize the beauty more. I think we realize the beauty in people that it is so easy to overlook. And at this point, we're like 17 minutes past the hour, so most of the archives that we upload to other channels that like to listen to us, if we're right bare edge of that hour, they won't let us post. So I've been kind of trying to shave them down a little bit so that other people can listen. But if you kind of drawing to a close here, okay? If you live yourself, if you live your life, eyes wide open, and you live yourself open psychically, and I don't mean open yourself wide ass open to those who would seek to do you harm, not even talking about that, but I'm talking about environmentally. Mother Earth is in a hard way right now. Human beings have spent millennia destroying Mother Earth. Human beings have spent millennia living eyes wide shut.
And they're never going to be satisfied. When your eyes are wide shut, you're never satisfied.
No.
You're never, you know what I mean? So it's like when the white man came and they just decimated the Native Americans with the railroads and everything. They want more and more and more and more, but they're never satisfied. They're always wanting something else, but they're never going to get it because it's right in front of them. It's right around them all the time because their eyes are shut. So all they're doing is torturing themselves by never being satisfied because they're too stupid to open their eyes. This is what I was talking about. You know, that clue is around everyone when they go outside and look around. It's a clue. It's an education. It's a wow. Wow.
Yeah.
It's being this way towards me, so I should be this way towards it. Duh.
But you
sorry
said
about
it. You said it right there, the wow factor. Right? The beauty of the mother is the wow factor. But I'm going to give your Sunday back. We will be getting ready for Live with the Shaman coming up next at 11 o'clock Central AM. Hope to see you there. And as always, we want to thank you for watching Open Pagan Church. We look forward to your thoughts, your ideas. I really enjoyed the interaction today. Thank you for that. And thank you to those who came. We hope to see you next time right here on Open Pagan Church.